Hi, Eagle Spitz from Punk for Homeless on Desert Island Vids. Our special guest this evening is Peter from Cress. Hello, mate. How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, Gary. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad.
Good.
Shouldn't imagine we just had a chatter before we started recordings. You had a lot of stuff cancelled this year. What's
Yeah.
the pain?
Yes, we've had a lot of gigs cancelled this year. Beginning of the year, yeah. But I mean, we should have been in Poland and Japan and Italy, and a few gigs in this country were organised. We had our 25th. It's really our 26th, but we missed it last year because we all forgot. And it was our 26th anniversary, which we was going to do a gig at 1 in 12, which is our favourite venue in Bradford and whatnot. So
yeah, it's
very
great.
disappointed. We actually had a couple to play with as well. As you know, I mean, we use a drum machine usually, but we had 3 different drummers. So we was going to segment the set into, 4 segments, 3 drummers, and then the drum machine, which would have been great. Well, there you go.
What can you do, mate? Yeah, it's been horrible.
Yeah.
I'm totally missing live gigs, but it's been a while since I see you guys. Yeah. That was at the 1 in 12.
Oh, yeah.
Punk Famous gig about 3 years ago for us, which was cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was a sort of real step out of our local area, playing at 1 in 12 in Bradford, sort of 1994, 96. Let's say 95. It just seems like we played every weekend since then. So I mean, we love that. We've got a certain affinity with it,
Right. Was you doing stuff before Cress? Musically?
Do what?
Was you doing stuff before Cress musically?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been in bands since I was 13. I'm now sort of 50 oddish. Me and Chris had a conversation last night about how old we were, and we both said, I'll have to work it out,
Sadly, next year, sadly, it's getting close to me where I'll be saying 60-ish.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
3 years.
People look a lot younger these days, I think,
Well, because I'm chubby, the wrinkles fall out.
It's the hair as well, I think, as well.
Yeah. I mean, can't see the grey.
Yeah, coloured hair seems to be quite popular these days, doesn't it? With the kids and
sadly.
stuff,
Yeah, mine's been pretty much the same since I was about 14, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to the music stuff, I mean, I started playing bass in a band when I was about 13. And then I've just sort of played various instruments myself, like drums and guitar and stuff in different bands along the way, and went through the festival circuit in sort of the late 80s, early 80s. Had a great band called the Atomic Space Cakes, which were just like, we just wanted to be Hawkwind really. But so we had all the coloured lights and the strobe machine, and we still had the drum machine as well. I've always liked playing with the drum machine. They don't answer back, do they?
No. And drummers are so hard to find. It took us ages to get a drummer for our band. We're happy with, but
yeah. Well, I mean, like I say about the anniversary gig, though. I mean, we don't really. I mean, we have played with a drummer. We played in this very room here, in my front room, with a drummer for my girlfriend's 50th party. But around here where we live, honestly, I can't think of a single person that plays the drums. So, I mean, for us initially, the drum machine was more an important. You're not miking up a drum kit, because we always did our own recordings in our house or wherever we are. We still do most of the time. It's just easier,
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about your first choice of song for the show then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You've got
The
to
Slits.
introduce that and say why you've chosen it, mate.
Well, the Slits. I really did want some kind of video like Shoplifting or U-Turn. When they, I mean, I love the album Cut. It was very reggae-fied, and I love a bit of reggae and stuff. But when I first saw the Slits in I think it was 1977, 78, supporting the Buzzcocks, they just absolutely blew me away. I must have been about 14 years old, 15, and I just suddenly realised that I mean the singer was 15 years old, and she was doing exactly what I wanted to be doing, and it just sort of blew me away. The noise, and I've seen a couple of bands in the youth club and stuff like that, and I played in a couple of bands in the youth club and stuff. But when I saw this all-girl band on stage, just wow, you know, that's it. That's what I want to do. That's me. And they were just chaotic and noisy, and I just loved them. And the only song I could find really was sort of what portrayed that was Vindictive, which is not one of my favourite songs, but it gets the point across, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so you've been gigging quite a while, and you've got several albums out. I think I came across you sort of about 2000. So you're quite an old band then, weren't you?
Yeah, we started the Cress stuff. Was about 1994 we started, and then we released the first album in '96, and then we've sort of rehashed it, and it got redone, and we thought, right, if it's going to be redone, we want to put a lot of other stuff with it as well. And I mean, like I said, I mean, we've always done recordings at home, so I mean, some of the quality of the recordings are not, but they sort of portrayed what we were doing at the time, you know, and they're very raw.
Yeah, great stuff though.
And no overdubs or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, I mean, this year alone we've done 2 albums this year, and we recorded one with Andy T and What All the Time, and did like a split album. I don't know whether that's on CD. I'm not sure, but we've just done a called Buff, who just incredible band. You should check them out. They're really good. And
It's good. They've played a couple of Punk for Homeless gigs over the years. You really should check them out. They're an awesome band.
yeah, and they're very nice people as well.
Definitely.
I was gonna sound then, like, apart from Saul, he's horrible, but they're not. They're all lovely. Yeah, and we did the split album with them.
And where's that available?
At Size, and it's just fantastic, really enjoyable.
Where's it available?
That's like on CD, and I think it's Chaos Control. I've definitely done the CD, but maybe I should have looked at the album, and then I'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, because I definitely want one of those.
I'll sort one out later for you. Definitely.
Cheers, man. We'll do that in.
I thought about sending you some anyway for Punk for the Homeless. Maybe like a little package or something, if ever you do. Like the not meat raffle or something. We could maybe do a couple of records on the CD and stuff,
Yeah, I think most of Punk for Homeless crew are vegans. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you get up to when you're not playing music?
I like to sort of not do very much, to be honest with you. I like to I spend a bit of time in the garden. I don't do gardening and stuff, and Karen would probably tell you, but we have an allotment at the back of the house, and we do a little bit of that and this. But we've just been given a van, a little sort of camper van, and we've spent a bit of money doing it up. So I mean, that takes a lot of our time now, just driving around and seeing where we end up.
Fantastic, a bit of freedom there.
It's quite nice. Yeah, it's something I always wanted to do. I mean, once again, me and Chris Cress were away on just canoeing and camping just over the border in Scotland, which is about maybe 2.5, 3 hours drive away from us. But we had a couple of nights while camp really was wild this weekend. It was dreadful weather, not much canoeing, but we try to get out and do a little bit of that when we can.
Good. It's good to get out though.
It doesn't seem to happen. Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's nice to do something different than. I mean, if you have a job and stuff like that, and your job takes over your life, and I drive a forklift truck during the week, and I actually like what I do, and I like meeting all the different drivers from all over the world and stuff. And it's quite, but work is just that. It's just work, and once the week, the nights or the weekends here, I try to do something completely different.
Yeah, excellent. Totally.
Yeah.
I was at Stonehenge Festival in 1983, and I got really pissed off with, I can't bloody remember his name, but he played before the Mob. But the guy played for fucking hours when I was a young punk rocker waiting for the Mob to come out. But I see you've chosen a Mob video for your second choice.
Yes. Well, during the 80s, I mean, obviously I came across Crass and saw them a few times at the local place in Wigan where we used to go, the punk club called Trucks, and a few times in Manchester, and it just seemed like that we went, there was some kind of band on, like Flux Pink Indians, Subhumans, Crass, Boys and Girls, But then they expanded that. There was a really good lineup of bands on every weekend, but at the time we didn't realise it was such a really good lineup, you know. And all the anarcho punk bands, never saw them up. I never saw them, and for some reason, even like just recently when we was in America, the Mob were in America, but they were in front of us, so we was always following them around, and I was like, God damn it, you know, I'm just missing this band every time. And Let the Tribe Increase is one of my albums ever. I just love it because it's, for me, it was like different, getting away from all the shouting and, you know, the really high-end energy, 2 guitars, really lots of tone and stuff. And I just think the vocals are just superb. It's like poetry without being.
Well, for me, one of the great things is, but as well as sort of politics, about the anarcho scene, that the bands were willing to experiment and do their own thing. You know, at a time when punk was getting 2 chords and a platitude. But the Mob were definitely one of my favourites.
Yeah, I liked. I mean, I liked all the stuff like with the, you know, as well as the DIY attitude. You know, I know it was done on mixed by Penny Rimbard from Cress, but I know they didn't go too over the top on the mixing and the production and stuff. But that's what I think is really, really simplicity, you know. But I mean, the words don't get lost within the music.
No.
And I think very beautiful words as well.
Oh, definitely. So what's the video you chosen then?
Oh God, it was called. It was it. I wanted to go for Gates of Hell, but once again I couldn't find a.
Hold on, I've remembered at my age. It's Another Day, Another Death. That's
the one, yes. And I particularly chose one of them sort of playing sort of live-ish.
Yeah.
As well. Maybe they dubbed it, maybe they didn't, but it's a fantastic song.
Yeah, well, all their songs are great. I mean, I love Witch Hunt and No Doves Fly Here, which was totally different sort of from what punk bands were doing at the time.
Yes.
Dripping down my face, I slipped up again, I slipped up again. The radio it played and sound was whirling in my head. Another day, another death. Another day, another death. Ice cold needle that splits my every breath. Another frigid wind that blows through every crack. The war that tortured dream, the straw that broke the camel's back. We slipped up again, we slipped up again. I wanna know why, I wanna know why, I wanna know why, I wanna know why. Another day, another death. Another day, another death. Ice cold needle that splits my every breath. Fast in the breeze, they are quite meaningless and yet they mean so much to me. We slipped up again, but not recalling all the pain. I wanna know why, I wanna know why, I wanna know why, I wanna know why. Another day, another death. Another day, another death. Ice cold needle that splits
I see you've got most of your back catalogue up for free download on Bandcamp.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, straight away as we found out about Bandcamp, we're not very sort of internet savvy and very electrical minded. Chris is, but he's Chris. So a friend of mine in Germany to do the site for us, and then he just said, "Oh, what about banging it on Bandcamp? It's very similar, and you can get all the downloads for free." And we thought, right, okay. I mean, that's basically what we've always been about, really. I mean, trying to keep everything, you know, down, like T-shirts. I mean, we were making 50p on T-shirts. Because we'd rather somebody buy them, you know. And the record, very minimally, we're not rock stars. We're not making a lot of money out of it. We do most gigs for petrol money and a veggie burger. You know, but obviously we can't do it because that cost too much money. But yeah, it's all there at Bandcamp and it's all there for free. I think that we've put in the live split and the split one with Buff on, obviously, because we've still got copies of that, what we want to sell. So we can buy that island in, maybe live next door to Richard Branson.
So the name Cress, you've probably been asked about this before. I mean, obviously, initially for me, it came across as a piss take of Crass, but how did the name Cress come about?
Well, when I think like the band that I was in before Cress, like I said, we was like a sort of hot windy style band and that, but I mean, we used to order equipment and just virtually every night all we used to do was mess around and record and play things backwards and I just started doing like some sort of punk stuff, what I wanted to play, and I did songs like TV Screen and DIY, which are very early Cress. I've got them on a cassette somewhere, and it doesn't even say Cress on it or anything. It's just some songs that I was doing.
Right.
And Steve, who was very said like, "Oh man, we should do this. You know, it's good fun. You know, let's do it. Some high energy stuff. You know." And we wanted a name, and I thought, well, basically, I'd sort of done every drum beat on the drum machine, which sounded like Penny Rimbaugh from Crass. And I just thought, right, okay, let's just call it Cress and say even I fuck up. But let's just call it Cress. And then maybe one or two people might notice the similarities. But also, I think I took it one step further by doing a couple of covers like Band from the Roxy and Always a Living and stuff like that, you know. But I actually think that songs what we did ourselves were not better, but they were more aligned to our personalities and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it first take and stuff because I mean the first gig we did as Cress was local, but the first gig we did more than 40, 50 miles away at Bradford, 112, and when we turned up, they'd advertised it with the inner poster from Shaved Women, with Cress in stencil lettering. It was like, oh God, no. They're just going to think we're like a Crass covers band and people are going to be shouting for Always a Living, you know, and we're like, oh, we had our own songs, like a full set of our own songs, you know, so it wasn't a piss take or anything. I rate Crass. Crass were one of the bands that I got into and made me think about what people are actually singing about.
Yeah, totally.
Not just, I mean, you know, I love the early punk stuff and stuff, but Crash sort of enlightened me in a way. It was like my Buddhist moment in a way. And
But yeah, I think they made a lot of people think, and they sort of certainly had a goodie. They changed the world for better, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't I wasn't 18 years old, you know, but I didn't know what CND was and all that sort of stuff. And if music can make you sort of, you know, put something, look further into it, get a little bit deeper, I mean, it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's got to be. I want to ask you another question, but I think I'm asking this question for me rather than the viewers. Several years ago, I picked up a double album through Active Distribution called Moon Music.
Oh, Lunar Music, yeah.
Lunar Music, that's it, yeah. Which I think is brilliant. Some of you guys was involved in that, weren't you?
Really? Wow, another person likes it.
I love it. It goes on quite frequently, actually.
You've got it on
Got it on
You've got
vinyl.
it on. Yeah, awesome. Was it Scold Records? I think did that.
Can't
one.
remember. I bought it through, you know, obviously no Active Distribution.
Yeah.
That's where I bought it from. I can't.
All right. Well, Lunar Music is basically Stig, who used to play the keyboards in Cress, and Chris, who does the video montage stuff for us now, and myself, just doing sort of when we first got into sampling and stuff, but not like in a sort of dance orientated. Like, I mean, I do like reggae, and I like to play the bass. And basically, what I was doing was doing reggae bass lines and then converting them to the keyboard and putting drums to them. And I'd come up with the bass and the drums and maybe a little bit of didgeridoo or something, and then Stig used to put all the little bits on, and Chris put a little bit on, because we just spend the weekend just recording, you know, all evening. I mean, my neighbours used to bloody love me. But we wasn't bad people to live next door to. But that just come about, like they were just all songs what we accumulated together, and they weren't put out on a record or anything like that with. And somehow, you know, when you give little tapes and tasters to people, and you go, "Oh, I've been doing this, been doing that," and trying to get gigs and stuff, and this guy from Germany said, "Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. I want to put it out on a record." And we went, "Well, okay," you know. And he said, "I want to put it out as a double album." We was like, "Oh, bloody hell!" So, I mean, I went back to college at the time as well. I was doing an HND in graphic design, so I did all the artwork for the records and stuff. I've always done the art for Cress and stuff. I quite like, you know, the montage. Photo montage stuff, and to get away from it for the music stuff was really different, you know. I tried to be involved in every aspect of it, other than slapping the vinyl down on the plate and watching it come out.
Brilliant. That's
awesome.
awesome.
Oh, really glad you like that. Yeah. When we was in America, Chris from ATU took us around Boston, and he actually found a copy in this record shop.
Fantastic.
Oh, we thought it was amazing, you know. The guys are going, yeah, these are them, they're them guys on that record, and the guy behind the country's like, so what?
Yeah. Oh,
it was great.
Hey, we're almost finished. Just want to thank you for being on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, if you got any more music like that I haven't heard, I'd love to.
Right, okay, yeah, I'll dig some out. I've got lots of stuff on CD, but I'm having trouble like copying stuff at the moment. Oh, you're not supposed to. It's illegal. The computer where I do my work on, it's currently kaput.
Right. So,
but
I'm going to say,
yeah.
So I'm going to say thanks very much for being on, matey. Great to see you. And goodbye. We're going to what we're going to do is finish with your last tune. So if you want to say cheerios and anything else you want to say, and then introduce your last tune, mate, please.
Oh, the last tune is from the Virgin Prunes, and I think it's called, I'm not going to say the first part, it's just called Theme for Fault. And I saw this band a long time ago, and I just loved the fix of it all. I just thought it takes the music to another level, and it was like I was on magic mushrooms as well. So I mean, that had something to do with it. So I just thought it was a brilliant musical band, and they're very, very underrated. And I'd like to say thanks, Gary, for having me on, and keep up the work with Punk for the Homeless. It's fantastic what you do, mate.
Thanks very much, mate. Bye-bye now.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, man.
Bye. I try